Hello, and welcome to Zany Geek. And today we are replacing the analog thumbsticks on a PlayStation 3 6-axis controller. And as you can see, this pad has been absolutely rinsed. I've FIFA'd it, I've Assassin's Creeded it, and it needs a little bit of TLC. We have 5 screws on the base of the pad, 3 at the top, and 1 on the bottom of each of the little hand-holdy bits. So get started with your Phillips head screwdriver undoing those 5 screws. The reason I've got a pink piece of paper on the back of my pad is just when you're doing a bit of multiplayer action and you don't know whose pad's who. It's difficult sometimes. Squeeze in between the 2 analog sticks there just to help unclip the bottom of the pad. Make sure you've got your screws undone. And then you can remove the base of the controller case, and the first thing we're going to do is take away the battery. Now your battery might look slightly different, it might be in a little holdy case. We've upgraded the battery on this pad, so if yours looks different, do not worry. Just remember where everything came from, because you're going to be putting it back there later. So once you've got the battery out, there is 1 screw on the base of the pad in between the 2 thumbsticks. Yes, the damage is bad, we've seen it already. So in between the 2 thumbsticks, just there, we have got 1 screw that we are going to remove. So get your Phillips head and start undoing that. Now remember, your LED light panel, your trigger buttons, the little plastic bits between the 2 trigger buttons will sometimes fall out. So just remember, you're going to have to put those back later. So once you've unscrewed that circuit board, you can flip it over. The thumbsticks will fall off, so you can remove those old thumbsticks, and you can gain access to the analog controller sticks. Remember, it's still connected to the rumble packs, so it will be a little bit fiddly. You're going to get your brand new thumbsticks and get those onto the analog sticks. They can only go on one of 2 ways, so just make sure that they're on nice and firm. And once you've got them pushed all the way down, you're just simply going to reverse the circuit board again and get those thumbsticks pushed through the holes in the front of the case. A little bit fiddly, make sure they don't slip off or become lodged at the wrong angle, but once you've got them through, you can have a little check to see if they're feeling okay, and if you think they are, screw that circuit board in tightly. And then have a proper check. Yep, that is exactly how I want my thumbsticks to feel. So I can begin the process of putting the pad back together. We've got to replace our trigger buttons and the little bits of plastic in between those. As I say, it is very fiddly, and if you can at all avoid it when dismantling the pad, I would advise that. But persevere, get those bits of plastic back in. It's fairly robust equipment. And finally, once you've got your trigger buttons in, make sure you don't do what we did and go, oh, what's this? LED lights? Shouldn't they be underneath the circuit board? Great. So we're just going to go back in. It's a fairly quick process. Get those LED lights in place. And then screw that circuit board back in. And put the battery back into its little cradle. And once you have all of those components back in their rightful places, you can simply place the back of the case onto the pad. Again, it will be slightly fiddly just working the pad back together. But once you've got it all clipped in and it's made nice clicking noises, you can replace those 5 screws on the base of the pad. And once you've got that done, you have got an essentially brand spanking new feeling PlayStation 3 controller. Links are in the description. Look at that motion. Time for a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 4, methinks. We've been Zany Geek, game responsibly.